Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at NetCom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. And we're very excited to host today's webinar, How to Migrate Virtual Machine Apps and Data to Azure. And presenting today's topic is Dinesh Kursija. He has over 22 years of teaching and training experience. He's also a Microsoft certified trainer with a plethora of other certifications like MCSA and Azure Solution Expert. Now, please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We do offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored towards your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. NetCom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adopting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we've been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation will be from the cloud practice area. NetCom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio for cloud courses as well. And you can check out all of our upcoming classes right there on your screen for various training on migrating application workloads. Private training to teams is also available, of which the learning plan can be customized to the specific needs of the audience. You can also access a variety of cloud marketing assets, such as the free on-demand training and blogs, by clicking on the available webinar handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. In this webinar, we'll learn about the best approaches to migrate and modernize workloads. The webinar will also talk about how to migrate a project to minimize risks and delays. And now, finally, I'd like to pass this over to Dinesh, who will be presenting today's topic.
Morning, afternoon, good evening, whichever location of the world you are, let's go ahead and start the business. A lot of cloud. A lot of things are coming up related to cloud. A lot of opportunities coming up related to the cloud. When you see that earlier, there was a trend. We are actually in the cloud, but the trend started coming down and creating up the private data centers. Now we built the private data centers almost 10 to 15 years ago. Now there is a trend again to go towards the upper direction, towards the cloud. So we have built a lot of applications, a lot of data that needs to be moved out, and a lot of worries there related to the securities also. Plus, it's not gonna be a one day, let's go to Mars, let's go to cloud in the night, in the overnight. We are not gonna shift the data. Plus, the data type which is there is of different data that we have it with us. The different applications, we need to go ahead for UAT, we need to go for pilot, we need to go for testing. There are a lot of networks, connectivity, topologies to go ahead and connect, to make it work, to expose it to the internet. My goodness, a lot of things at the heart of this transformation data. It is actually driving up the business. So let's go ahead and see now here the slide that we are having up. What is that we are going to talk today? We're going to understand the data platform modernization. We have to choose the right tool, and what all things can be migrated via virtual machines, what all can be migrated towards the Azure SQL Cosmos database, and later we'll have a question answer also session. Now coming down over here, understanding data platform modernization. So what is actually data platform modernization? I have a specific SQL version and I need to move to the next version. Why? Because the transformation of the data is required, because finally data is driving the business. My data is very important. It should be available. So what all things that we can do it with the data? What actually the data platform modernization is? It's basically primarily focusing on the selecting and migrating to the right data platform technology that will help us to achieve its strategic objectives and goals. And it also modernizes the processes. It's all about the process that helps out to move seamlessly, which let's talk about that. We want to go ahead and modernize the data. We want to move on from one version to another version. It could be in on premises also, like from one SQL version to another version, because we need to keep moving to the newer features, which is going to help in my business. But when you talk about the whole process, this process includes discovers, assesses, plan, transformation, validations. So there are a lot of processes which comes across in the data. Now, why data performance platform modernization is required? The reason is convenience, cost. It could be it could be scale out, security. I need a automated backup recovery solutions. I need the encryption capabilities. And so there are so many things that we need to look up over here, that the reasons for the migrations. And when you talk about the stages, there could be, these are different stages. We need to discover first, like what all things that can be migrated. We need to assess, we need to plan, we need to transform, we need to validate, and finally remediate also in this case. So when you talk about these stages that we are going to come across, uh, so you need basically a proper training for this, like which all things that you need to migrate. It's not going to be just we are thinking about going towards the cloud. So when you talk about the data platform modernizations, what actually the students should understand. So the trainers over here at our end basically teaches the student that how data has evolved into different types of structured data, semi-structured and non-structured. Earlier, we used to think like we have to build a machine, then build a OS and all that kind of things. But now, when you look into the cloud, you have a SQL and ask, you have a SQL and pass. You just spindle up, you just select the database, and a machine gets spindled out for you. You have a SQL instance also. So there are different types of varieties of services available for the data that you can keep it. So students have to understand that basically what are different type of databases also supported. Do we have a Cosmos DB, MongoDB, do we have Cassandra, um, Gremlin, different types of databases there are. So at the end, when the student comes out, what we target is basically the student should understand the different types of data, should understand the technologies at the higher level, what will be their role and responsibilities that comes out as a data engineer, because that's very important. And extend the skill set of a DBA. It's not only about the databases that you're going to talk about, it's all about extending up the skills. Earlier it was a different way, now it is a different way. So it's more than that of it, and it gives you a broad overview of the skills that you will require it and how the data has been changed over here. At the end, you will be also getting up the case studies. Now, what are these case studies? We give you a business kind of a scenario, like Adventure Works, where the company is into XYZ business, then they have a requirement, they need to move out from the on-premises towards the Azure. So what all solutions that you could apply, what all security things that you could go ahead and suggest to the customer on this part. So it's not only about the production, we also concentrate onto the certifications parts also for this. So now coming down over here, when you talk about migrating it, so when you talk about migrating, the tools are going to be very important over here. Without tools, you're not going to move. So what are the official tools available with you, what is supported, what is not supported? That is what we are going to talk about here now in this slide. Let me just quickly pick up the one that is there now for you. So here, which tool can help you out for the data platform modernizations? What are the prerequisites to install these tools? What are the different kind of scenarios could come up? Like, let's say that I want to go ahead and migrate Oracle to Azure. Oracle to Azure, is it supported? That's the question comes up. But what is supported, what is not? What are the different scenarios? Is it going to be on a virtual machine? Is it going to be, do we have a support for that? That is very important over here. So is the student should feel that where can we get some additional information while preparing up for the migrations? The student should be able to install that tools and do that pilot. These tools can be presented also, like you need to go ahead and create some assessments, you need some guides, you need some planning tools, you need to go ahead and write down what all things are very, very important during this migrations, which tool has plus, which tool has minus. So these things will definitely play very, very important role over here. Now coming down on this side is, let me just go to the next slide. Yeah, this is my one of my favorite slides. Now let's talk about moving up the app and the data workloads. Many of the people say that DK, we have an application which is residing up in a machine. Now we cannot go ahead and create a separate machine. We want the same thing to be going ahead. We don't want to take it up as an out of box. It is running up since so many years on that, and we are very, very worried. No worries. It's just we have to replicate the VM to the Azure recovery storage. Now it depends upon us that where we want to go ahead. Do you want to run it in us, or you want to shift it towards the next location of your office? So we do support on that part. Also the course will actually train you on that part. So let's take up with that. We also have a SQL workload. Now we need to migrate the database. So when we want to migrate the database, again the database moment is very, very, so how basically we'll be going on, we'll be replicating of the machines, recovery storage will come up into the picture. So the student should understand the post migration work is the most important. It's not only about the migration that we go ahead and we start up the things and then go ahead with this. So here, the student should have the different methods to migrate onto to a virtual machine. Student should feel that migration approach will be the best for them. Should we go ahead and migrate the SQL to Azure SQL, and then from there we should migrate it to PaaS. So there are different kind of scenarios which would come across, and they should be finally able to move um, the SQL database to the Azure one. Yeah. So in this now, basically what happens is that also that we take it up as a scenario that uh, we already have a SQL database running up with us, and we want to move it. So fine, we are replicating. So sometimes we go ahead and test it out whether we have, when we go ahead and do a failover, finally it is failing over now. So we do have those stage wise also that we could go ahead. It's not gonna be a one day kind of a job that we are gonna go ahead. So a lot of considerations are going to come across, a lot of scenarios that we are going to throw in the training programs, a lot of different kind of labs, different kind of practices, different kind of case studies are going to come up to you in this case. Now when you talk about the uh, Azure virtual machines migration, it's not only about the database, it's not only about the application, it's all about the overall line of business. Let's say that these things are divided into different machines. So here we have one machine which is running up the application, then we have a second machine which is running up the database, or a middle tier, then we have a third one running up the database. Can we go ahead and take only the application towards the cloud? I'm really worried taking up that towards the cloud. So security is again a major concerns that we have it. No worries when we go ahead towards that side. Let me just go ahead and finish the scenario first. So one machine we go ahead and take it. So my application is now in cloud and it is available. Now from there we have a one-to-one connectivity. There are different kind of point to site to site. We can have express routes so that the data can be tested and checked whether it is writing up or not, whether the application is running fine from there or not. Now DK, we are happy that now the machine has gone towards the cloud, which is running up the applications, but we are really worried that we don't want to take the database to, we do have key vaults with us which will encrypt the data, where we can go ahead and have the certificates, secrets also. It's absolutely a modernized world that we have. It earlier days what we used to do, we have an application, then we used to go ahead and edit the web.config, and which has the connection string and connects to the database. Now we have a different world. We have an application, then you ship the application, you migrate it towards the PaaS based one. Fine. So if you're moving out from the virtual machine to the PaaS, that is also possible. But the advantage of moving up towards the PaaS is that uh, so yeah, so you don't need to worry about the operating systems. Plus, you can go ahead and edit the web.config directly from the application settings, and from there you just say point it out towards that. Go to the key vault. There is the secret. Go and pick up the connection string from there. So when the application is getting attacked, it is more safe onto that part. Now currently the application is going to the key vault, picking it up and serving up. But still, I want that to keep it up in the virtual machine itself. So yeah, going back to the scenario once again to the same. So my line of business, virtual machine, middle tier machine, and the database. My application is towards that. I need security there also. So we can go ahead and have a disk encryption. I can have the BitLocker enabled over there via keyword. That is also possible. So when we are going ahead for migrating up all these things, this plays so much of important roles. It's not going to be only about migrating it towards that which are the tools, but what how is my network going to be, how is going to be my throughput, how is going to be my performance, what if I need to go out and scale out. The machines in Azure are not so much supportive. We have got an extra load. Do we have an elasticity? Yes, we do have an elasticity. We can go ahead and scale out also what is not there in on premises, that we can go ahead and have it over there. What if the machine goes down? What if the data center goes down? No worries. We do have that high availability also configured. We have one server running up in one data center, another server running up in another data center. Third one is definitely these three tiers will be having multiple machines of theirs. So we can spread out. So we have a really a good high availability and the resiliency scenarios that we could go ahead and configure it in that case. Now coming down towards the next slide that we have is now migrating the workloads to Azure SQL or to the Cosmos database. Now, what kind of database that we are actually thinking to migrate? So, what are the different kind of data that we want to go ahead and migrate? So, is it possible that can I migrate the Access database also? Yes, we can go ahead and migrate that Access database. What are the supported scenarios like we have SQL Server, Oracle database? DK, can you just let us the tools which are there for migrations? We do have map tool is there, DMA tool is there, different kind of tools are there that will actually map is the one which will help you out for the on premises, which will tell you basically that what all the servers are there, what all sizing will be required up over there, the recommended ones. Then for the SQL, we have a DMA coming up into the picture. We have a database. Then we also have DEA also, different kind of tools that we have. But at the end, where my data should go. Should it go to Azure virtual machines? Should it go to SQL in PaaS, or should I go ahead and give it to Cosmos DB? Now, what is this Cosmos DB? Amazing thing that we have it in the market. It's really spreading up like a fire. We do have a multi-write in this. It's not only the multiple read copies that it has, geo copies. In fact, you can actually go ahead and have a multi-writes. It gives you the options of API for MongoDB, Cassandra, Gremlin, SQL, no tables. These are different. So at the end, you can decide that where my data is gonna go. Is it gonna go in SQL and as SQL and pass, or should I go ahead and make a use of the Cosmos DB? You might be thinking multi-writes. Then how is it gonna write? So do not worry, guys. When you join the course, the trainers will definitely help you out on that part. Basically, it writes to the secondaries copies first before it commits to the primary copy on that. That's the secret of your Cosmos DB. And different methods to go ahead and migrate. Should we go ahead and migrate online, offline? Students should know. So when these are the things that student wants to understand during the migrations. Now, when you talk about the students should have a high level steps of the chosen methods to go ahead and migrate. The students should be also able to migrate to the different workloads accessible. uh, this is very important point, that the database should be accessible. It should not be that the data is migrated and some of the tables are gone. Can we go ahead and have only schema migrations rather than the data? Because data is tons of data that we have. It takes hours and hours, days and days for us to migrate. That's fine, no problem on that one. But can we go ahead and migrate the schema and a portion of the, we can migrate only schema, we can migrate only data, we can migrate both of them. All those options are also available. Now, when you talk about the specific things, uh, that depends upon scenario to scenario. We have a PostgreSQL also, we do have Access database in the on-premises, we have Oracle, where it will fit in. So these courses will actually go ahead and help you out to understand that this is what is gonna be my goal. This is what where I need to extend. So Tracy, you're there?
I sure am. I want to thank you, Dinesh. That was most informative. And
Mhm.
don't forget, attendees, we still will be getting to all your great questions. So keep putting those in the chat box. We will get to them in just a few minutes. But before we do, I want to hand the presentation to our product manager, who is going to introduce you to some of our amazing promotions and webinar related courses. Okay, go ahead.
I would just take a few moments of our participants to take everyone quickly through some of the resources that we have collated together that we find would be adding value to the skilling journeys that everyone is interested in. So first up, you would be getting this webinar handout as part of our presentation today. And this contains certain information that you might find valuable. First is a brief introduction about NetCom learning. So we have been in the industry for over 23 years now, and we have served over 14,000 enterprise customers and trained 150,000 plus professionals. We are an authorized training partner with all the major vendors in the IT and business space all across the world. So some of the major names include Microsoft, AWS, Cisco, CompTIA, Axelos, PMI, Easy Council, you name it, we have accreditations with them. So you get the highest quality of training support from NetCom Learning. So we really support end-to-end upskilling requirements. You would find the recording link to today's session and this handout as well. So feel free to go through it in order to revise the topics that have been covered today. As part of the learning experience, we are providing all the participants today free access to our NetCom 365 portal. It is a real gold mine of valuable resources and assets to support and empower you in your skilling journey. So feel free to log in, activate your accounts, and explore. You'd find multiple webinars, assessments, and other resources in here. Feel free to explore the courses across vendors. We really believe you would find this really helpful. Some of the latest offers that we have currently, if you are interested in security, for Microsoft, we have a very special promotion going on, valid till the 30th of June 2022, wherein with the official VILT course, you are going to get a free exam voucher as well as a practice test. Now, it cannot be more emphasized the value of skilling and the validation that you receive through a certification. It is the official seal of approval directly from the vendor itself, Microsoft. So feel free to explore these courses. It is applicable across the entire Microsoft security portfolio. That includes SC 900, SC 200, 300, 400, AC 500, and MS 500. All the links are here. Feel free to explore these and take advantage of this promotion while you have the chance. Apart from security, if you're exploring and you're trying to really figure out what specific scaling requirements you have, maybe beyond specific product lines, right? So the entire Microsoft training portfolio is covered under our Microsoft scaling program. So we are talking about Azure, security, Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, and Power Platform. So really end-to-end upskilling requirements can be met through one single solution, and it really provides uncomparable advantages especially when it comes to team upskilling or enterprise upskilling. So if you are a business owner, if you have a team, if you're managing a team and you are aware that your team needs to be upskilled, multiple members of your team needs training across a variety of products, feel free to explore our Microsoft Skilling program. The starting process is really simple and it is free of cost. You can schedule a call with our learning consultants and they would discuss your specific needs and assess your requirements, and based on your specific objectives and expectations, an optimized Microsoft Skilling plan would be developed and deployed and you would get exclusive benefits like you can save up to 8% on the pricing. There we provide easy enrollment, so you get personalized microsites that can be deployed within your organizations for easy enrollment of your employees, and you get the full features of NetCom 365, and it really provides a 360-degree upskilling experience. Some facts about certifications have been mentioned here once again, things that have already been covered by our instructor. And the link to the Win-Win of Certification ebook has been provided here. Feel free to go through this, and you would be getting real-world evidence on the ROI of investing in certifications, both from an employee as well as employer perspective. We have a NetCom Plus subscription that really is a great tool if you are looking for an individual learner subscription. So it is only applicable for individuals. What you get as part of this offering is for $2,999 per learner per year, you get unlimited access to 500 plus official training courses, including 60 courses from Microsoft itself. So it comprises multiple vendors beyond Microsoft like AWS, Cisco, and all the other vendors that we have as part of our portfolio. You get 12-month access, and it gives you that flexibility of continuing your skilling journey throughout the year. If you're looking for something which is more focused towards the skilling requirements of your entire team, Learning Passport is the solution that is going to certainly take your training efforts to the next level. It is a flexible team training package, so that means it is not linked or locked to a specific learner, as in the case of NetCom Plus. It is a shared fund value that you invest, and you maximize it by up to 100%. So it is a prepaid fund that can be redeemable over 4,000 plus official courses all across our entire vendor portfolio of Microsoft, AWS, Cisco, all the way through EC Council, PMI, and it is again valid for 12 months. So feel free to explore this if you are an enterprise looking to upskill your employees. Last but not least, we have the recommended learning path for the data and AI professionals as recommended by Microsoft. So all the courses have been linked here. The certifications have been mapped. Feel free to explore these. And once again, once you enroll with NetCom Learning, you get access to virtual labs for 180 days, along with 365-day access to the class recordings, which really is an unbeatable value when it comes to the learner experience. Also, feel free to explore and check out our upcoming masterclasses. Today's session was a webinar. Our masterclass sessions are also free of cost, but these are more extensive, typically 2 hours or more. We have a session coming up on Microsoft 365 and security. Feel free to explore and enroll for those. Before I hand over, just our website, www.netcomlearning.com. Feel free to come here, explore the entire portfolio that we have. Specifically on Microsoft, please feel free to go here and explore the courses that match your needs. We have the entire catalog present here, under apps and infra, under data and AI. Today's topic, you can go to Azure and you can explore all the courses that are related to today's topic of discussion. Lastly, we also have promotions going on from time to time, so feel free to explore our promotion section on the website, and especially for the teams that are looking to upskill multiple members, feel free to explore our free private group training sessions on Microsoft Dynamics 365, Power Platform, and Teams. Feel free to go through these offerings. These can be customized as per your team's specific needs. These are free of cost, 2-hour private group training sessions. So with that, I'd like to welcome you all to the NetCom Learning community, and feel free to go through all our resources and get in touch with us, and we can guide you in your skilling journey. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for letting our webinar attendees know about all of these amazing promotions. And as we promised, we are going to get to those questions. So let's just get over here for the questions. And okay, so the first one is from Ellen. She would like to know, do these courses contain hands-on or is it theory?
No, absolutely. These courses contains hands-on also. So almost I could say that 50% theory, 50% goes on for hands-on. Plus, there are demonstrations given up by the trainers also. So at the when the theory is going on, trainer goes ahead to the back end where the things are ready or needs to be prepared. That trainer's job is going to be fantastic. So trainer is going to take care of the demonstration. Plus, the advantage over here will be that when the students are doing labs, we have the tools to take the remote only of the labs which they are doing, and trainers will be assisting them for the troubleshooting if they are stuck somewhere. Definitely a yes on that part.
Great. We have another question coming in from Tomas who would like to know, is everything covered in one course or are there different types of courses for migration?
Very good question. I appreciate that the question will definitely help many other attendees. Basically, when you talk about that, it's not going to be only one course because the workloads could be different. We have PostgreSQL that has a separate migration course. Now one needs to go ahead and migrate towards Cosmos DB. That is going to be different. One needs to go ahead for SQL workload migration. Definitely that is going to be different. So we do have different kind of courses with us in NetCom. That a big, I think 5 or 6 different courses are there. The best part of these courses is that some of them are aligned to go ahead and achieve towards the certification. Certifications, like there is no dedicated certification for migrations, but definitely it could play a very important role. Like for admins, they can go ahead, if they attend one of the migration course also, definitely it will help them to go ahead and pick up 104 also. So if the developer is there, definitely migration is getting covered up in Cosmos DB also. So if one is looking out for the complete Azure developer course plus migration also, go ahead for AZ204. When one is going at only migration, I'm only interested in migration app, and one can go ahead for DB50 also, which definitely our team will assist them if they have queries on that part.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Dinesh. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up. You can go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register. We want to thank you all for joining us today. And if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.